Can a $30 tool really track your rankings? Can it pull a competitor's backlinks apart? Or are you about to pay 5 times that for tabs you never open? Here is what you will have by the end of this. Daily rank tracking, running on your own site, a clear read on exactly who is beating you, and a list of their links you can go earn for yourself. I will be in Mangools for all of it. We set up the tracking, and we diagnose the gap, and then we go take the backlinks that close it. 3 jobs, 1 cheap seat. Let's get into it. Here's the thing nobody selling you software says out loud. Most small teams buy the big suite. They open 3 of its tabs, they let the other 50 sit there paying rent. But there are really only 2 jobs you run week to week. Where am I ranking, and who do I outlink to climb? Those are the 2 jobs the cheap tools do at near parity. Overbuying the rest is the line item that quietly bleeds your stack. So look at the gap. Mangools starts around $30 a month. The big suite, SEMrush, starts near $140. That is roughly 5 times the spend for the same 2 jobs. And on backlinks, the part people fear, the numbers are close. Mangools carries about 5,200 referring domains on the average lookup. Ahrefs carries about 5,006. That is near parity for the prospecting work. It runs on a licensed Majestic index underneath. So you are not buying a thinner answer here. You are just skipping enterprise overhead you are never going to touch. And that is exactly the seat Mangools is built to fill. So here's what I like about this. All 5 of these subtools sit under one login. You don't buy them a la carte. Want to follow along on your own site? The link is in the description. It is worththeseat.com/Mangools. 10 days free, no card to start, so you can run this whole loop before you spend a cent. Pull up your own domain right now. Do every step with me. Let me set up daily rank tracking for a site you care about. Open SERP Watcher. You land on the tracking screen. This is every site you watch, 1 card each. Mine already has a few domains on it. Each card shows a performance index. That is the 1 number read on the whole site. Up top, the bar tells you how many keywords you have left to track. Keep half an eye on that number. We come back to it in a minute. It is the wall that decides your tier. To start a fresh one, hit Create New Tracking. It sits bottom right. You drop in your domain, you pick a location, you pick a device. Desktop and mobile are tracked separately. Choose the one your buyers actually use. Then you paste in the keywords you want to watch. Don't dump your whole spreadsheet in here. Every keyword counts against one budget. Pick the dozen terms that genuinely convert. That performance index climbs as those terms climb. Once it is saved, click into the tracking. This is the screen you will live in. Every keyword sits down the left. Then you scan across the row. Your current rank, the change since the last check, your average, your best, and the search volume. It updates daily, not weekly like the big crawlers. So when something moves, you see it the very next morning. That speed is the whole reason a tracker earns its place. The change column is the one to scan first. Green means you climbed. A red mark means you slipped. It is basically your morning weather report for the whole site. Top right, you get the performance index and visibility. That is 1 number for, is this site trending up or down? Here is the honest read on our example. We sit past rank 100 on a keyword we want, so we are nowhere near page 1 yet. That is the gap. That keyword is the thread we pull through everything that follows. Here's the rule that bites people. Write it down. The tracked keyword limit is account-wide, not per site. On the entry tier, you get 200 keywords total. That covers every project you run, so track the terms that move money. Archive the vanity ones. See that line up top? It tells you exactly how many you have left. That cap is the first wall you hit. And it is the cap, not the data quality, that decides your tier. One more look before we move on. Check the best column against the search column. Best is the highest rank you have ever hit for that term. Search is how many people actually look for it. A high volume term where your best is only page 2 is a real opportunity. So now we know exactly where we stand. We sit past rank 100 with climbing to do. But tracking can't tell us who is up there ahead of us. That is a different subtool. It is only 2 clicks away. Let me find out who is outranking us right now. Switch over to SERP analysis, which is SERP checker. There is one search box here. You type the exact keyword you are chasing. You set the same country and the same device you tracked, and then you hit Analyze SERP. And here is the live top 10. Up top sits the keyword SEO difficulty score, which is how hard this whole page 1 is to crack overall. Match these settings to your tracking exactly. United States, desktop, and the same phrase. Get any one of those wrong, and you are studying a different SERP than the one you are trying to climb. This is where a lot of people quietly trip up. They check their rankings in one market, then they study competitors in another, and the 2 never line up. So the plan they build never actually works. Lock the market down first, every single time. Now read the table itself. Every ranking result has its authority laid out right beside it. Domain authority, page authority, and the 2 columns that matter most for our plan. Links and RD, which is referring domains. Ignore the rest of the noise for a second, because we only care about that last pair. Links is the raw count of links, and RD is how many separate sites point at them. RD is the honest one to trust, because it is much harder to fake than a raw link count. Find the result sitting just above where you want to be. Not the untouchable number 1, but the one you can realistically pass. Then look across to its RD column. That number is the gap between you and that spot, measured purely in links. On our example, the site above us has a few hundred referring domains that we simply don't have. But that is not a wall. It is a work list. We just have to find out which links they are. Here is the rule worth keeping. Favor RD, not just domain authority. Authority is a vanity score, and it only tells you they are strong. It does not tell you how to catch them. Referring domains, though, tells you the real work in front of you. This many sites link to them, and not to you yet. So that is not a number to sit and admire. It is a to-do list. And the next subtool is the one that turns it into one. So pick that competitor, the one just above you with a beatable link count, and copy their domain. We are done diagnosing now. We know the keyword, we know who is ahead of us, and we know the gap is links. So from here, we go find out exactly which links those are, and which of them you can actually get for yourself. Keep that domain on your clipboard, because we paste it in shortly. Let me pull that competitor's backlinks apart. Open the backlink checker, which is Link Miner. Just read the headline at the top. Find powerful backlinks you can replicate easily. That is literally the job we are doing here. There is one input box in the middle of the screen. You paste in the competitor domain you just copied, the one sitting right above you in the SERP. And in a second, we are going to see every site that links to them. Now tick one setting before you search. One link per referring domain. You don't want 50 links from the same site clogging up the view. You want breadth. One clean row per domain that links them. And see the tabs up top? All, new, and lost. The new and lost tabs are your monthly monitoring, showing what they gained and what fell off. For now, we just stay on the all tab. So I type the competitor domain into the box, and you watch the field fill in. There it is. Then I hit Find Backlinks, which is the green button on the right. Give it a second to pull the whole profile down, and then the table loads in underneath. This is the moment the whole loop has been building toward. Every single site linking your competitor, gathered in one view. And here's the profile. Up top sits the summary, citation flow, trust flow, the count of referring domains, and the total backlinks. Then the table below it does the real work. Every referring domain, its strength score, the anchor text they used, and whether it is follow or no follow. Sort by the strength metric and start at the top. But remember, you are not actually chasing the strongest links here. You are chasing the gettable ones. Now scan the domains for patterns you can actually act on. A roundup post you could pitch, a resource page that lists tools like yours, a directory, a guest spot, or a best of list you clearly belong on. Those are the replicable ones, because a real human chose to put that link there, so you can give them a reason to link to you too. Click any row and the page previews on the right. Flag 5 of those and you have got this month's outreach list. Now the honest ceiling, because value hawking cuts both ways. Link Miner runs on about 5,200 referring domains on an average lookup. For a prospecting list off one competitor, that is plenty. But say you need a 10,000 domain enterprise audit, or daily link freshness, or trend history past 6 months. That is the wall. That is where you outgrow the cheap seat. Worth knowing the wall is there before you hit it. But for the job we set out to do, the loop is now closed. You have a list of real, replicable domains, domains that point at the competitor beating you, and not at you yet. Tracking told you where you stand. The SERP told you exactly who to chase, and this told you precisely how to chase them. So that is the whole motion, top to bottom. 3 subtools, working as one outcome. So there it is. 3 jobs, 1 cheap seat. You tracked your rankings daily, you diagnosed the real gap on the live SERP, and you walked out with a competitor's replicable backlinks. The entry tier earns its seat for a solo site, and the next tier up handles a small handful of them. The ceiling is real, though. There is no full site audit, and the link index is smaller, so at agency scale, you will eventually outgrow it. But for this exact loop, on most stacks, it pays for itself. So here is your move for tonight. Pull up your own site and run this exact loop on it. The link is in the description, and it is worththeseat.com/Mangools. 10 days free with no card needed. Track a keyword, find who beats you, and pull their links. Then go earn a few of them for yourself. Go run it.